Let the boys be boys. Slam. Duh, 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 duh. Let the boys be boys. Slam. Duh, 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 duh. Let the boys be boys. Yeah, this is the Zone Sports Podcast.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yes, sir. I'm one half of the host. You know what I mean? Your boy Big V. You see my guy over there, the human air horn himself. Cause once again, we ain't got no budget. You heard? We can't even afford to get that air horn itself, and we proud of that. You heard? Let them know who you be, my G.
I'm a B-boy standing in my B-boy stance. Somebody give me the microphone before I bust in my eye. Okay. Yo, it's your boy COOL. Always wondering what the hell. Yo, it's your boy Cool C. Never,
Mhm.
ever, ever did it a floozy. Hey, yo, it's your boy Corey. I'm never telling the same old tired story. For those out there in YouTube land, Big Vito, we got the sound out for you. Right there. Bam, Big Vito. What's happening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all already know what it is, man. How you, bro? You all right?
Man, we good, man. We making it, just trying to hit these free trials up so I can still keep my ESPN going. So I just canceled Fubo. And so I think Hulu Live TV got a month subscription or free trials. I'm gonna hit that up. Oh, and maybe some good news for you because you said you are with Spectrum already, right?
Uh-huh.
I believe, well, I think it may depend on what package pause that you have from Spectrum that you might get ESPN Unlimited already included in your subscription. So YouTube TV and Disney still tripping, but that's okay. I'm hopping around like a gopher so I can see my sports going on, man. So we doing all right. What say you, Big V, man? Enough about that garbage. These billionaire bullies versus the millionaire bullies. Who cares? How you doing, my guy? We're gonna stay
Man.
positive today.
Everything is good. Yo, real quick, yo, no pod next week. I
Okay.
found out I was gonna be here, but I found out this week that my wife, I went to my wife, I said, yo, um, because our anniversary is the 21st of next week, you know what I mean? So I went to, I said, yo, you got any plans for our anniversary? I had to ask before I start doing my thug
Respect.
thizzle. You know what I mean?
Oh
She said
man.
she said yeah. She said yeah. I got some plans. She said make sure you available from the 19th through the 23rd. So you
Conversation
know what I
over.
mean? Hey
Over.
hey hey hey. So Vince called on him. Vince called on him. Dunk contest style. It's over. So you know what I mean? She not telling me where we going. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? She just telling me, yo, we getting on the airplane because before I get on the plane, I have a whole like routine I have to go through,
Okay.
like just for my anxiety's sake. I like to meet with my
Okay.
therapist and things like that. You know what I mean? So she said, I didn't want to spring that on you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I wanted to tell you that we're at least gonna be on the plane going somewhere. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So she handling my packing and all that. You know what I mean? I'm just going in blind. You know what I mean? I'm just
Okay.
making sure I got some bread in the cut for whatever she want to do. You know what I mean? And
Come
I
on.
got I got some stuff I ordered that's gonna be here before we leave. So I'm gonna take. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, no pie to all the zoners out there next week. You know what I mean? Your boy will be on his 10th wedding anniversary celebration.
Respect. Hold on, Big V. Can I hit
Damn.
the air horns for that? Pew, 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 pew. Shout out to Big Vito and Mrs. Big Vito, aka Michelle, for the 10-year. Pew, 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 pew. Respect, my guy. Respect.
You know what I mean? I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But everything is everything, man. Yo, man, we need more music like Onyx to come back. I miss that.
Yeah.
I know it ain't really no place for that style because it's that style of rap is so old. But for people that don't know, Onyx still be touring. I follow them. They be touring
Mm.
outside of the U.S. Like I'm talking about almost like probably 200 days out of the year or more. And
Wow.
seriously, if you're not tapped in to Onyx, follow them on Instagram, Fredro Star. You That's who I follow mostly is Fredro Star and Sticky Fingers. You can
Yeah.
see them on tour performing. You know what I mean? I actually had a like actually was watching them just getting inspired by the overseas crowd are still demanding Onyx 30 years later.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? And I heard Fredro say that when they had a show here in the US recently, that it was their first show in the US uh since like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
I hear that overseas love is very different than the in-state love, along with the money.
yeah. It is. It's crazy because from what I hear is it's their appreciation still for just the grassroots of hip hop.
That's exactly what it is.
Like it's that because they don't get to see us all the time. They hear it and
Yeah,
they love it, and they're not their hip hop isn't that in certain regions. Of
yeah,
course, you got places like the UK, London, salute to
yeah,
them. You know what I'm saying? And it's other places too that are doing that underground grassroots hip hop that we all know to love for the hip hop historians. But it's just rare that they get to see the likes of a Conway or rest
yeah.
in peace, Mac Miller. But I know Mac Miller didn't want to do shows outside of the U.S. because he was scared to fly.
Mm,
He was scared to fly.
yeah, yeah,
So, but you get people like West Side Gun and
yeah.
Sky Zoo and people like that who are making a living
That's crazy in a
doing
good
their
way.
thing overseas, man. I mean, it be guys like Larry June. Shout out Larry June. Larry June be getting that overseas bread. Like I tell people all the time, go where they love you at, man. Go where they love you. You know what I mean? I'm a small example of that, of how I have to go into outside of North Carolina
Mm,
because nobody in North Carolina calls to book me.
yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
that's real where it does make you wonder about US versus overseas, where I think us in the US, we're spoiled because it
Hmm.
originated in the US, the Bronx in particular, where it's just like, yo, we're just so used to it. Like we talked about last week, how there was just so many classic albums in the 90s that you took them for granted. And even now you could see certain people that's still going on tour, like you said. I had no idea that Onyx was still touring.
Still
And you want to talk about grassroots from the ground up? None of that corporate, no,
nothing.
like, none of that. You talking about songs like, and the thing is, real quick, is you look at a song like Slam that we were just humming. That's still played in stadiums today, right?
It is a generational class. It's played not only in stadiums, countless movies, countless commercials. Yo, I just looked up today.
Hell,
And the beautiful thing about hip hop, this is so beautiful about hip hop. And we'll get to sports in a minute. Y'all know, like we all know now, we're gonna introduce some music in the pod. We just have to. Y'all love it, so let's stay here for a minute. Like I looked up today and seen a commercial for Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which comes out this Friday. It had the shimmy shimmy y'all in the background of it. Yo, rest in peace, old dirty bastard. Yo, I looked up and said, "Oh my, this is beautiful.
yeah.
This is beautiful when a major game like Call of Duty reaches back to the 90s and grabs the shimmy shimmy y'all for the score of the commercial. Like, yo, whoever's in that marketing department, salute. I heard that and I
Yeah,
couldn't believe it. Like, these kids, they are hearing that and don't know what that is. You
yeah,
don't know. If you wasn't there, or you even have a cool parent, you don't know what that song is. You just moving
yeah.
and grooving to it. Me, I look at it on a whole different level, and I love that, man. Hip hop is so beautiful. It's beautiful.
You're 100% correct. And the thing about it too, Big V, is that, Onyx came out in the early 90s.
Yup.
And you just said it. They toured what, 200 plus days out of the year. That
Or
is,
more. Yes.
or more, right? And the point I'm getting at, it ain't like these dudes had to give up hip hop and go back to working a 9 to 5. Like, yo, and that's the thing. No, Onyx may not have sold no 10, 20 million records, but their impact on hip hop is just as is inevitable like a comet is. And the fact that you could still do this years later and still get paid off of it without having to do a traditional 9 to 5, in my book, they won.
They, what else did it say? They are legends. They are legends. And oh, by the way, they have more than Slam. Let's not forget about
Oh, no.
Shut Them Down. Records like that. Records they had with DMX Pun. Come on, we
We
know.
could go with Last Days.
Oh,
We could go with Throw Your Guns
throw
in
your
There. It
guns
may
in
not
there.
be too popular, but a quick note. on a throw your guns in the air video off the Back the F Up album. Russell Simmons was actually in the video with Onyx. It's like, who has the owner of a record born Puff Daddy and Bad Boy or Sugar, anybody like that, all in the videos dancing? That was Russell Simmons first, Big V.
And you know why? You know why that's so fire? People don't know, but that first album came out under Russell Simmons, under Rush Associated labels. People
There you
don't know
go.
that. You know me. You know. This is back when you had to get the cover and flip it over, Corey, and read the credits and know who produced what, Corey. You
There you
was
go.
involved. People don't. You was reading the lyrics. Yo, where was this recorded at? What street is Def Jam on? Yo, how can I get my mute? Can I mail a tape to this address and it can possibly get heard? I tried it, Corey. It didn't work. But hey, I
Hey,
got it from the credits,
say,
Corey.
say that.
Hey man, I miss the credits, dog. I miss physical copies, man. Oh my god, bro, what a time to be. And it is physical media still out there.
Yeah,
Just tap in.
I'm still one of the guys. I'll still, if I like an album good enough, I would still go on Amazon or wherever and still purchase a physical copy.
Or if I like said artists, I will go to their website and
Mm,
buy. I still buy vinyl. I just got the Only Built for Cuba Links vinyl cut by a month ago. Oh man, and oh by the way, I will be in Charlotte next month at the 30th anniversary of the Only Built for Cuban Links album concert, along with the 30th anniversary of the infamous album. Havoc and Raekwon are having they're on tour right now, Corey. They will be in Charlotte next month.
that's
I will
crazy.
be there in attendance with my wife, and I
Yeah,
cannot wait
I
to
know
come
you can.
back.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna lose my mind, especially with the new release of the new Mobb Deep album that just
Yeah.
came out. I'm gonna lose my mind. I may cry. I may actually cry in the car, Corey. I may cry on the way
Don't cry
home.
in the car,
I may.
Smokey.
Oh man, it's gonna be so beautiful, man. It is gonna
Yeah, it
be.
is.
It is gonna be beautiful, man. Salute to Onyx. Follow Fredro Star on IG. No, I'm not getting paid for this. I just really like him. He's also producing fire now. He got some fire beats, Corey.
Mm,
He puts his beats on IG. He shows his process. Fire beats.
okay.
Fire beats. Tap in, man, with Fredro Star and watch the journey of Onyx continue, man. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
And I came on this pod, with the energy of slam because the Colts are slamming the league.
There you go.
Let's get
Oh,
into it,
oh,
Corey. Let's get into it, Corey. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, if you was under a rock or you just didn't have the channel that the Colts and the Falcons game came on because they were playing overseas, ladies and gentlemen. You know
yeah.
what I mean? I think that
Don't
was in
feel that, but
Berlin.
salute.
Know what I mean? So, hey, the game came on by 9:30 our time in the morning. I didn't have the channel regardless, but I was keeping up with it, Corey, on my phone. And guess what? The game went to OT, and they ain't stopped nothing, Corey. The Colts pulled that thing off 31 to 25. Thanks to my main man, Jonathan Taylor. Yes, sir. Corey, I cannot tell you how much my mother is hating on the Colts right now.
Oh,
Mom called me. She said, yo, I was hoping y'all lose. We play y'all next week. I said, I
ooh.
like that. I had to give a little, I had to give a little shimmy on that. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? I felt like V Curry, a little shimmy. You know what I mean? I said, okay, no doubt. I'm waiting on this because now this is what I want to see. I want to see us against the likes of the big dogs because yes, we have played a couple of big dog teams. You know what I mean? We are 8-2 coming into this game. I like it. I like the energy, but I know they have Pat Mahomes and the boys just
Yeah,
getting Rice and all them guys back. You know what I'm saying? I understand all that, so I'm fired up for this game, and I hope and I feel like it's gonna be a smoker. I don't have either team scoring over 28 points. I don't.
yeah, it could be fair.
I don't. I can't wait to see this, Corey. Of course, yo, I came on this podcast two podcasts ago, and I keep making the reference why Danny Dimes needs to be in the talks about MVP, Corey, my boy threw 19 of 26, Corey. 19 of 26. Yes, he threw a pick, but he also had a touchdown too. And oh, by the way, Corey, I gotta read this stat because this is an important stat that I just had to. I just bust out laughing at. I'm looking at the rushing stats. My guy Jonathan Taylor, 32 rushing yards, 32 touches, 244 yards, Corey, 7.6 average on the touch. Are you crazy? Almost 10 yards a touch? Whoa! With 3 touchdowns. He had a fumble, but Corey, that ain't what jumped out at me. I look and seeing that Indiana Jones, aka White Mike Vick, has 7 touches. He has 7 carries, Corey. 7 rushing carries for 53 yards. My boy was averaging 7.6 just as his count, just as his running back was, Corey. My boy was running that pill. 7.6. Yo, for Daniel Jones, it's insane. Even though he only had 53 yards, Corey, he rushed 7 times, Corey. And they could not stop the White Mike for 7.6 a carry. Corey, listen, MVP me. My mama asked me one. My mom was at the Charlotte Hornet game the other night. She said,
Yeah,
"Yo, I was thinking about getting you a jersey from here because they played the Lakers and
yeah.
she
On
loved
Monday.
Luke. She loved
Yeah.
Luca now, so this was a chance to see Luca." She said, "Yo, I was gonna get you a jersey for him, but they're kind of expensive." I said, "You know what? If they ain't got no LaMelo Ball anyway, I'm good because I don't really rock with nobody else on the Hornets like that. And I'm only rocking it because Mom's going to get it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?" She said, "Nah, I'm gonna just hold off." I said, "You know what? That's a good idea because you know what I need." I think I need me a dark blue Danny Dimes jersey. I need that for Christmas, Mom. Put that on my list. Mail it to me so I can rep. I am ready to rep. I'm going to get me a fitted from New Era soon, probably this weekend, because I am fired up, Corey. I need my hat on when I'm watching them spank the Chiefs this weekend. What is your thoughts, Corey? Who you got winning the game on Sunday against us and the Chiefs, Corey? I need your answer. And it
We got
better,
the well, we're gonna have to wait because y'all have a bye week next week. So y'all gonna be playing the Chiefs on the 23rd
pardon
on,
me.
on Turkey Day. Um
Yes, perfect.
be be that as it may. I caught the second half of that game against Atlanta when y'all was in Germany. And I was just looking at that game like, okay, I know it's tough for both teams. You way overseas, you're in Germany. I mean, damn London. I mean, we're in Germany now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
gonna be a game in Japan probably next week. Who knows?
yeah.
And I was just looking at the cohesiveness of your team. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get back to your question in a minute. It's just that JT, aka Jonathan Taylor, and the White Michael Vick. We gave him that nickname a couple of years ago, really just clowning when he got caught by the turf monster. And I was just like, yo, this dude is not even gonna be in the NFL. And now you're talking that he could potentially be an MVP candidate, and I don't have any disagreements. Like, I'm still in awe of what I'm looking at here. I am. I am. Now, back to the Sunday after Nets going against Kansas City Chiefs. Boy, that's gonna be that might be the game of that week. I haven't pulled up the full slate of the following Sunday.
Uh-huh.
That could be it. They actually got y'all in the 1 o'clock window. I got
I
to
don't
see.
like that. That should
I
have
got
been the
to
eight
see who,
o'clock game.
yeah, I got to see who's at least playing at 4 o'clock versus 7 o'clock, or at
Yeah,
least Monday night football. So I'm kind of, they might flex that out. I don't know.
yeah.
Um, man, I think Kansas City is going to win. However, it ain't going to be no gimme. I got Kansas City winning by a field goal. Like, it ain't gonna be no knockdown track. Like, I'm betting with, okay, Corey, you have to put money on this game. And it's so tough to go against the Chiefs because I feel like the Chiefs is just starting to click. And I have recency bias with the Chiefs because every time I bet against the Chiefs, I end up with egg on my face. We ain't even talking about the 49ers right now. I'm just talking about period. Like, this is let me tell you something about the Chiefs real quick. This team is a favorite to make the Super Bowl. But as of right now, if the playoffs were to start, they wouldn't even qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That don't make any sense. But you got Project Pat Mahomes on that team.
Look, I understand. I understand, Corey. I'm not gonna fight you on it. I understand that not only do you have recency bias, but you have history bias. Like
Yes.
they've won several chips. We're just getting back into our groove.
Yeah.
We're like new money versus Roger Goodell. You know, we're like new money versus the craft company. You see what I'm saying? So that yeah, I get it. So I'm not gonna fight you on it. I am walking with Colts all day. Shout out to the defense. Yo, Zaire Franklin had like 6, 7 tackles, man. That whole defense is swarming. Listen, man.
I would not be shocked if y'all win that game though. Like I wouldn't have my mouth dropped wide open. Like, oh my God, no, I'm past it. I've been past that with y'all.
You know what, Corey? I'm glad that you mentioned shock because I have something that's not on the docket that I am shocked about. I am shocked at how good the Carolina Tar Heels are looking this season. I'm not gonna lie. Corey, I watched that game the other night against a ranked opponent of Kansas.
Yes,
And Corey, it won my soul. Um, I cannot think of the dark skinned guy's name.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
What is his
Taylor
name?
Wilson.
I want to speak about him real quick. He's a dog. Yo, I saw the post game interview, whatever it was on, through I don't even know what network or whatever it was on, but he said that he has a list every game of a kill list basically, and it dates back to he said that somebody on that Kansas team was on that list the other night, and
Mm.
it dated back to the McDonald's game
Oh wow.
where something about he didn't get past the ball, or he didn't get playing time, or when he did, they didn't pass him the ball. And he said, you know who was on that team? And it was a guy from Kansas that was on said McDonald's team. So he acted a fool when they played him the other night because he had made a mental and a physical kill list of who is going down. Corey, I love that. We need
Yeah,
that grit back in
yeah, you do.
Carolina
You do.
basketball. I love that. We need that grit going up against Duke. We need that
Yeah,
grit going against anybody in this league because, as of for the past 3 or 4 since COVID, we ain't looked the same.
yeah,
We ain't looked the same, Corey. And we came on this podcast and maybe even asked if we needed a new coach.
yeah, yeah,
I love not only him, it is the guys that are around him
yeah.
that are shooting the three well,
Man,
that are looking gritty, that they are hitting the floor. I love that, Corey. I haven't been this fired up about Tar Heel basketball since COVID, Corey. I'm excited.
we got a center. I think he plays the center, or maybe a
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
four named
yeah,
Vessel. Last
yeah.
name Vessel.
He
That
nice.
dude is a beast in the paint. We did lose Seth Trimble
We
with
did.
a broken arm, a broken elbow.
He
He's out
getting
in.
surgery. Yeah, getting
Hopefully we'll
surgery.
get him back or whatnot. But yeah, no, we looking good, man. And I love Caleb Wilson's attitude because that's going to permeate through the team.
It is. I think and I think it already has, and I'm excited to watch it, Corey. Um, what I think that also, speaking of being maybe excited to watch, Corey, um, maybe Nico would be excited to watch Nico Harris. Maybe he'll be excited to watch the games with us because he no longer has a job and he don't have shit else to do. You know what I mean? He ain't got no job. He ain't got shit to do. He on some Smokey from Friday type. You know what I mean? So yo, let's jump right into it. You know what I mean? We gonna keep
Yeah.
it basketball, but we gonna transition to the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, Nico Harris, the GM of the Mavericks, has been fired this week. And I know y'all may be wondering, who the hell is it? Oh, let me explain it to you in layman's terms so you can know exactly who it is. He's the guy who made the trade for Anthony Davis and Luca. He's that guy. He's that guy. He is that guy, ladies and gentlemen. And I know now it's clicking. Yes, he is fired after the Mavs. Like they had what 3-8, Corey,
B and
at the
A,
start of the season.
B
Three
and
and
A.
eight start. Oh, by the way, the Lakers are like 8-3. If you were wondering, you know what I mean. So, ladies and gentlemen, he is out of here. He has the boot. So he may be enjoying the college season like me and Corey from the comfort of his own home, or if he wants to, download the ACC network, you know what I mean? Or maybe since he's fired, he may have to dumb down things, Corey. He might can't afford the ACC network. I don't know. But guess what, Corey? We knew this was coming. We knew it.
Yeah,
Corey, they have hated this man since the trade. It has been no secret, Corey. Corey, you know what I heard? I heard that individuals of no said name had taken out billboard signs saying fire Nico, Corey. The
yeah.
people of Texas was doing that. Of Dallas was taking out their hard-earned money and putting up billboards that said fire Nico. Can you imagine if you are the GM and you are riding home with I don't even know if he's married or you got something nice on. You riding with something nice and you look up and it has fire Nico, and she like, yo, ain't that you? Ain't that you? Can, I'm just trying to paint a picture. Can you imagine how that would ruin the mood on your way with something nice somewhere? That is crazy, yo, that they hate you that much, Corey. Yo, not to mention, you looking like even more of a failure with the latest injury to Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
You got the other end where the Lakers are winning at, literally, where Luca is back in shape. He's looking like what he needs to look like with no LeBron.
Yeah.
Man, that has to hurt, Corey. That has to hurt. This is the equivalent of if Mark Cuban had ever traded my guy what's my guy name?
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk. Yeah,
Yeah,
what if he would have ever traded Dirk, that would have lit his house on fire.
probably.
If they listen, if they are putting fire Nico billboards up, they would have lit Mark Cuban's house on fire. Dirk is a Dallas treasure. Luca was on his way. I'm not gonna say he was loved like Dirk because we know Dirk just played long. We know what Dirk meant to Dallas, but he was right there.
Yeah.
Corey, I'm not surprised by this, Corey. I'm truly not. What are your thoughts on this
Yeah.
firing, man?
I'm actually surprised it took this long.
Mm,
When stuff like this happens, I want to round up everybody that's involved because I think no one is saying the name of the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, whose name
yeah,
is Patrick DeMont. Sir,
yeah. Nico was just the front man.
are you going to fire yourself, Mr. Patrick? Oh, no, no, no. You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to get on TV and tell the fans, oh, I heard you. I heard you. This is why this has happened. No, 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 no. The reason why a lot of this happened is because you allowed for it to happen. You, as the owner, you have the right to say, yo, are you out of your damn mind? That's the
Mhm.
dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Oh, but wait a minute, Mr. Patrick, you really didn't want to pay Luca that supermax.
That Supermax.
You didn't want to pay him that supermax. And to a certain degree, rightfully so. He's out of shape, even though he got you to the finals. He's drinking beers in between playoff games on camera. Some stated that Luca had attitude problems, which superstar does not. We're not saying that you should or shouldn't have paid him. What I'm saying is you got Nico out here solo, falling on the sword for you, Mr. Patrick. Now, I'm going to slightly absolve the coach, Jason Kidd, because the GM is over the coach in regards of personnel matters. But guess who's over the GM? Mr. Project Pat Dumont, that you don't want to, you up there hiding. See, that's what I'm saying. You team don't just happens to involve people on the basketball court. It also involves organization. And I get it. Look, man, everybody is hawking over how Luka is with the Lakers. And look, far be it for me to tell a Dallas fan how to feel about this. I'm not, you see what I'm rocking? It benefited us quite well, right? But listen, you was not going to get the Luka that you have with the Lakers. You just wasn't. Why? Because comfort breeds a lack of want to, because I'm getting everything I want. Big V, real quick. I'm gonna speak mainly for women, but maybe guys too. Well, you've been in a relationship that you're just too comfortable in, and your said spouse, girlfriend, or partner, whoever, wants you to step your game up a little bit. But if you're that other said individual, well, why should I? Shoot, I'm already staying at the house. I'm getting fed. I'm getting the box whenever I want to. I'm
Yeah.
getting everything that I want. And then it's like, you know what, man? I'm tired of this. Get out. Get out and stay. Okay, well, fine. I'll get out. You get with your new partner. Man, man, why you in such and such? Like, oh, man, she was tripping or he was
She
tripping.
was tripping. He was tripping.
Like, tripping. But then over time, it's kind of like, well, I'm with my new boo and she's saying the same damn thing that my ex is saying. And it's like, whoa, I can't have this happen twice. Because see, I cried when I got booted out of the Dallas Mavericks. I cried. I shed tears the moment shit got real. He don't want that to happen again. Hey, you know what? I don't want to get put out of another house that I'm leeching off of again with my new boo. I'm gonna straighten up a tin hut. Shout out to Bone Crusher. So you wasn't going to get that Luka in Dallas. My biggest knock with Nico is that I felt like he outsmarted himself. Because let's not forget, he actually did have a couple of good trades that actually worked out. It was risky at the time. Kyrie Irving,
Kyrie.
right? You look at him getting Kyrie Irving. You look at the fact they looked up and got Cooper Flag. You look at Anthony Davis, right? And then getting their big men back. But guess what? The team that Nico envisioned never came together, mostly due to injury. So, look, man, I get it. Owner did not want to pay him that supermax. Fall on the sword, be out there with your team, man. Owner, Mr. Patrick, don't just put all of this on Nico. Yes, he came to you with a dumbass idea. I ain't gonna hold you. But you could have stopped it, my man.
Two things real quick. About Luca doing all that in the playoffs and just looking um like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick, and all
Yeah,
that. Listen, um, I recently learned that playoff wise, he is second in like scoring to Jordan.
that's crazy.
Are you at 20 something years old? Are you crazy?
Dang.
That out of all that you just said, he is still second, Corey, to
Hey,
Jordan in playoff. That is crazy. And also, yo, you know, I'm glad you brought it up about the owner real quick because I hadn't even thought about this. I don't even know if you thought about this. He definitely had to have him as the front guy for this situation too. Because oh, by the way, yo, let us not forget that the billionaire guy who's in the back, you also fumbled Jalen Brunson. You
can we
did.
also say Christoph Porzingis, which was with Mark Cuban, if I'm not mistaken? So let's not act like this stuff hasn't happened. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Good point. Let's jump into some media beef, Corey. Some weird media beef going on between Michelle Beadle and Stephen A. You know what I mean? Yo, I used to love Michelle Beadle when she was on ESPN. I still salute everything that she does every time I see her speaking and everything. I'd be happy that I see her because I barely get to see her. You know what I mean? I'm really not. I should tap in more with her, her online stuff that she does on YouTube and things like that. I'm just used to seeing her on a bigger platform like ESPN. But somehow her and Stephen A got some beef going on. She came out basically and said that she don't like some business moves that he did,
Yeah,
and uh, she's not a religious woman, but she's praying on his downfall. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Which is crazy to say out loud. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Stephen A went on his platform, threw a couple of shots. You know what I mean? Stating that he knows the real reason that she was fired from ESPN. You know what I mean? And kept boasting the fact that yo, I'm still here and you not. And I know your boss kind of like personally. You know what I mean? Read between the lines however you want to on that. Yo, media beef is crazy to me. To see two personalities doing this. Then you also have Carrie Champion chiming in too,
Yeah.
who I also love, and I hate that she got let go due to whatever she. I never even found out why she got let go. I heard her say something about yo, you clapped at me when I got fired, but let's see you clap back at
Yeah.
Michelle
That
and all
same
the others.
energy.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. What are your thoughts on this situation, man?
Well, my thing is, I think Michelle Beadle's gripe is legitimate, and I say that based off I never tell people how to feel about something. So this been a I ain't gonna say so much of a cold war, but it's been a war going on since like 2014 between those two. The genesis of this comes from the Ray Rice incident, or
Mm,
whatnot.
mm.
And it comes from the comments that Stephen A. Smith made. And I'm super paraphrasing, but bottom line, this is not alleged, this is fact, where he was suspended from ESPN and he had to apologize before he come back on air, basically alluding to women should
Women have to
not.
stay in their place.
That's right. Say basically don't provoke men in lieu of physical violence and stuff like that. And even when I heard that, I remember hearing it, not verbatim because it was so
Yeah.
long ago. I'm like,
Yeah. Ah.
I hear you, but I don't. And the reason why I say I hear him, I've dated someone who, when she gets upset, she likes to slap. Like she's a slapper. Like, oh, why you late? Whap, right? And I ain't gonna get up here and say any more about that on the internet. We could go offline for the rest of that. So I feel like Stephen A was talking about those type of women, and I ain't gonna say everybody's been there, but there are some people that are aggressive where it's like, oh, I know you're not gonna do anything, whap, whap, whap. But I don't think he used the proper context for that. I equate it to children where I have a daughter, you have a daughter and a son, where I'm like, well, no, don't nobody put their hands on nobody. I'm not going to sit here and just tell my daughter, well, no, don't do this, don't do that. Like, no, no, no. Both people need to keep their hands to themselves. So now you, and I'm gonna move quick here. So you got that part going on. I'm a grudge holder. That's one of my biggest character flaws. I am a grudge holder. I am semi petty. So I can't sit up here if that's something that rubbed her the wrong way. She may have felt that his apology was only for to get his job back. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. But then let's kind of fast forward to maybe like about a couple of months ago. Well, you know, Mad Dog Christopher Russo comes on Wednesdays on ESPN,
Yeah.
and he also got Stephen A. Smith to have his own show on Mad Dog Sports Radio on Sirius XM.
Which was Michelle Slot. But he did, in fairness to Stephen A, he didn't know. He didn't know. He
He
didn't.
didn't know, right? So I could understand
It looks away.
L. Beetle being tight with Stephen A.
Good point. Good
And
point.
you talk about too, you give real quick, you give credit to people that you like, right? And according to her, which I don't find hard to believe, Stephen A. Smith, when they used to do the NBA countdown show and all that stuff, like he's loud. He's loud, he's boisterous, she's more of a laid back kind of calm deal. And I equate Stephen A's character on ESPN to that of the WWE. I love it. I watch First Take every single chance that I get. It's working. I don't really feel like Stephen A is like that behind the scenes.
It's perform. A lot of it's performative. It has to be entertaining. It has
Yeah,
to be entertaining, Corey. It just has to be.
but
Nobody wants to watch a boring sports show.
there you
That's
go.
why they
So
tap into the Zone Sports podcast.
that bingo. So no, I support Michelle. If I had to lean more towards the other, I do support. I would probably lean more towards Michelle B because again, when you start talking about domestic violence and you making
Yeah,
tone deaf comments, in her opinion,
yeah.
I can't tell a woman how she should feel about that, Big V.
Never.
I can't and I won't.
Nope. Nope. All we're gonna do is tell people to continue to watch the Zone Sports Podcast each and every week. Every time we drop these joints, what you watching the clips on IG, your social media of your choice. We appreciate it so much. You know what I mean? Yo, like I said, next week we won't be here, Corey. You know what I mean? I will hit you when I get back. You know what I
Word up.
mean? And catch you up on everything. Until then, y'all know how we end this joint.
Peace.